Okay, so when I say silver, you probably think jewelry, right? Maybe some old coins. But what if I told you that the future, our entire tech future, is being built with it? Yeah, we're about to look at this ancient metal in a totally new way.
No, really, think about it for a sec. What's the very first thing that comes to mind? For most people, it's probably something classic, something a bit traditional.
Exactly. Things like jewelry, coins, maybe even your grandma's fancy cutlery. We see it as this precious metal, totally tied to history and family heirlooms. It's gorgeous, it's valuable, for sure, but maybe just a little bit old-fashioned?
Well, hold on, because that's where this whole story takes a massive pivot. See, today, silver isn't just about looking back at the past. It's quietly become this absolutely critical material that's literally building our future.
So what is it about this ancient metal that makes it so vital for all this next-gen tech? Well, it all boils down to a few core properties. You could almost call them its secret superpowers.
Okay, check this out. These three things are the foundation for, well, everything we're about to get into. First, silver has the highest electrical conductivity of any metal on the planet, period. It's also fantastic at moving heat around, and on top of that, it doesn't rust. Now, these aren't just cool trivia facts, these are the exact reasons silver is so essential for the green energy and digital revolutions. Let's dive in and see how.
All right, let's see this stuff in action. First up, solar power. You see, silver's amazing conductivity is what makes it possible to efficiently grab sunlight and turn it into electricity.
And wow, this chart just perfectly captures the scale of the solar boom. I mean, just look at it. Over the last decade, the amount of solar power we can generate has absolutely exploded. We're talking a tenfold increase. That is a huge, massive global shift.
So, you'd think, right? More solar panels must mean a ton more silver is being used. A 10x increase in capacity should mean a 10x increase in silver demand from the solar industry. It's just common sense.
But, and this is where it gets really interesting, the numbers just don't add up. Solar capacity shot up 10 times, but silver demand from that same industry, it only went up by 3 times. So what gives? How is that even possible?
The answer has a name: thrifting. See, because silver isn't cheap, manufacturers got incredibly clever. They figured out how to use less and less of it in every single solar cell. That's a huge reason panels got cheaper and more accessible for everyone.
But just when you think you've got it all figured out, the story takes another twist. The constant push for even more efficiency has led to new solar cell designs like these TOPCon cells, and they're quickly becoming the new industry standard. The catch? Because they have a more complex design to soak up more sunlight, these new and improved cells actually need more silver than the old ones. So it's pulling demand in the complete opposite direction of thrifting.
Okay, so let's switch gears. We're going from the sun to the street. The second major pillar for future silver demand is all about electrifying our cars.
79%. Just let that number hang in the air for a moment. What on earth could that refer to when we're talking about cars?
That's the jump in silver usage. A fully electric vehicle uses up to 79% more silver than a regular old gas-powered car. We're talking going from about 28 grams to around 50 grams in every single vehicle. And why? Well, it's for all those high conductivity connections packed into the batteries, the power systems, and all the charging components.
And check this out. This chart shows us the exact tipping point. The demand for silver from EVs is climbing so fast, it's expected to blow right past the demand from traditional cars by 2027. I mean, that's a fundamental shift in a huge global industry happening like right now.
And hey, don't forget, it's not even just about the cars. Every single charging station out there needs silver for its high-power connectors and cables to work safely and efficiently. That just adds another whole layer to the demand picture.
All right, so we've covered green energy and green transport. Let's move on to our third and final pillar, the digital brain of our entire planet, the one that's powered by AI and data centers. Okay, so since the year 2000, the number of data centers around the world has grown 11 times. That's pretty impressive for sure. But believe it or not, that number doesn't even begin to tell the real story.
Because the actual computing power inside those data centers, that has grown by a mind-blowing 53 times.
So here's the key takeaway. The trend isn't just more data centers. It's that they're getting bigger, way more powerful, and much more concentrated. These gigantic hyperscale facilities are just crammed full of servers and switches that have tons of silver-coated connectors and silver thermal pastes, all just to handle the insane amount of electricity and heat.
And this point from the source material really hits the nail on the head. It explains that AI relies on super specialized hardware, and those high-performance chips, the actual brains that make AI work, they all depend on silver for their internal connections and packaging. It's what gives them the speed and reliability they absolutely have to have.
So, when you step back and look at the whole picture, it becomes crystal clear. Silver isn't just a precious metal anymore. Nope, it's a technology metal, through and through.
So let's recap, shall we? We've basically got 3 unstoppable trends, right? 3 huge pillars of future demand, and they all rely on silver's unique superpowers. We've got powering the planet with solar, driving the future with electric vehicles, and building our world's digital brain with AI.
And that leaves us with one last, really big question. We're all in on building a future that runs on green energy and artificial intelligence. But all 3 of these massive, world-changing shifts are basically competing for the exact same essential material. So, the question is, are we actually ready for the incredible demand this puts on one of our oldest, and now maybe our most important, next-generation metals?